And then we got a lot of questions during that OKR slide. I think people are really digging into how to kind of differentiate between objectives, key results, and initiatives. So we'll just kind of jump into that. How do you evaluate initiatives against each other? And how do we know there is more value investing in regulatory playbook, for instance, versus an initiative that did not make the cut?
I can take this one. It's very challenging to do this well, and that's why we like the OKR framework. Is it allows you to really hone your focus into just a few objectives and then a few key results for those objectives, and then you're kind of top down from there, thinking of what are the initiatives that impact those. Now, if you're thinking regulatory versus something else, a lot of that comes down to what are the resources you have in house and what is their expertise. So if Ha hires me as head of trust and safety and CS and insurance, part of my job is to help work with our legal team to create the regulatory playbook. And so if we know regulatory, for instance, is an existential threat to our business, if we get regulated out of cities, that's something we can never look past and deprioritize. So we have to find a way to put that in the roadmap and resource it. If we don't have resources, we better find them. But if it's against something else, there could be another team that owns that. And that's okay, because then we have different resources, different places tackling different problems. But if it's within the same department, if I need to focus on regulatory and insurance and then a policy on mutism, for example, I'm probably going to lean towards the regulatory playbook and insurance for now, and we'll get to the other community policies at a later date. And then the last part I'll say there is it goes back to that graph I had on one of the slides. What is our perceived level of impact versus our perceived level of complexity? And that can help frame that conversation as well and help us establish what the right trade-offs are.
You must have had some fun conversations.
Working in safety at Airbnb for 7 years, we would have meetings at the headquarters in San Francisco. People would walk by and peek their head in and say, "What do you do here?" Because we're talking about all the different threats, risks, harm, the ways people could abuse each other in person or online. And yeah, having those policy discussions was pretty wild sometimes.